6 o'clock on a Thursday morning, tracking what is now Hurricane Dorian as it churns out of the Caribbean closer to the Florida coastline. A state of emergency declared there as people prepare for the storm to make that possible Labor Day landfall.
We have team coverage as Graham Olkins shows you preparations across our region, and Liz Coe explains how this could impact holiday travel. Let's start you off first, though, with Diane Deaton, your First Alert forecast.
Thank you very much, Matt and Lauren. Good morning, everyone. 6 o'clock as you're waking up on this Thursday morning. Give you information on, again, here it is. This is Category 1 Hurricane Dorian. Not much change during the overnight hours as far as the number is concerned. What the National Hurricane Center is saying this morning, however, is that the barometric pressure has gone up just a little bit from last night. It's back up to 991. What that means is they're saying maybe just a little bit of a drier slot on the southeastern edge of Dorian, and that eye wall of the hurricane kind of filled in a little bit more with the clouds and some rain. So that's just a little bit of good news. But again, you can see where it is moving away from Puerto Rico, moving to the northwest at 13, highest winds 85. And look at this, it just has open waters, very warm open waters as it continues its trek across the waters and closer to Florida. And as we said earlier, it does look like it is going to be a major Category 3 hurricane as it does make landfall over the course of the weekend in Florida. In the meantime, this is what you need to know out the door. Looks really quiet. We like quiet, especially after all the noise and all the rain we had last night. So this morning as you're waking up, temperature 73 degrees. Not a bad day ahead. Little lower humidity. Not as good as we'd hope for today, tonight, tomorrow, but some is better than nothing. 93 degrees your daytime high. No heat advisory and only an isolated shower.
Diana, busy travel weekend. A lot of folks taking tomorrow off to add to the Monday already off holiday for Labor Day weekend. We're going to expect a lot of traffic later this afternoon, especially after 3 o'clock. Snapshot right now. A lot of traffic on the Highway 70 approach to the Sunshine Bridge due to an earlier stalled vehicle. It's still really slow, folks, from Highway 22 all the way past the truck stop and toward the Sunshine Bridge, where we had an earlier stalled vehicle there this morning. That lane going toward Donaldsonville between Sorrento and DeVille, still very slow, and that's got 70 really jacked up this morning going toward Donaldsonville out of Sorrento. Just be advised there this morning. Meanwhile, taking you across to the Atchafalaya Basin, all lanes are open. If you're heading to Lafayette or going west for the holiday weekend, you will have no problem right now on the Atchafalaya Basin. The basin is looking really good all the way to the Lafayette area. Here's one live shot right near the Butte-La Rose area. Both lanes in both directions open. So your drive time to Lafayette right now, snapshot under 50 minutes, back to normal on I-10. 47 minutes is where we are right now. Our time check, 6:02, 6:03 now, Lauren.
Johnny, we're waiting and watching. Hurricane Dorian makes its way toward the United States, aiming for Florida. The governor there has already declared a state of emergency. And Graham Olkins is in the First Alert Center now following the storm and preparations ahead of it.
Good morning to you, Lauren. This is the tracker on our WAFB Hurricane Center. You can track it in real time, and you can see basically the entire state of Florida still in that cone of uncertainty right now. So the entire state of Florida is bracing this morning. Governor Ron DeSantis said he talked to President Trump about 8:45 p.m. Last night, declared the state of emergency for his state. But this is what folks are waking up to, as people saying they're not looking forward to this weekend because this is what the store shelves are already looking like. Someone in Jacksonville said water is already almost gone. We're prepared as possible. Some video for you shows the long gas lines, just the familiar scenes that we see a few days out from a major hurricane. So that's what folks are dealing with this morning, not really knowing where this possibly Category 3 hurricane may hit by the time it gets there on Labor Day. Some folks having some fun with it, though. This is at a Publix grocery store in Florida. Never seen that cone of uncertainty on a cookie cake. But so they're trying to prepare as best they can with keeping it a little light, but we're also tracking the misery map. This is what we use to track the real-time flight delays. It's looking good this morning, but obviously with Labor Day weekend coming up, lots of folks going to be taking to the roads and the skies. Normally, folks would be headed toward Florida. Our Liz Coe is live this morning with if you may have to change travel plans, what that might involve. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Graham, you made a key point there. Things could change at the drop of a hat, and that's why people who have these Labor Day travel plans need to start making these backup plans just in case, right? So 17.5 million people are expected to be out and about traveling for the Labor Day holiday weekend. In fact, it's one of the busiest out of the year. Since we're at the airport, let's talk about what you can do, what some of your options are if you have a flight plan for today or tomorrow, right? So today is expected to be the busiest travel day. In fact, the peak travel time is going to be between 4 and 6 p.m. But airlines like Delta, Spirit, and Southwest have already issued travel advisories and what's called flexible travel policies. Each airline offers something different, and some of them are allowing you to change your flight, cancel it, or save your reservation for a future flight. And if you have a trip booked for this Labor Day weekend, make sure you're checking that flight online. Maybe you received an email from your airline, but it's really important to see what your airline is offering in the case that weather cancels your plans. And make sure you're checking Twitter pages. That's where I'm finding the most up-to-date information from some of these airlines, because each day these travel advisories are changing. Now, if you're planning on taking a road trip, well, some good news for you. AAA saying that this year you're seeing the lowest gas prices for Labor Day holiday weekend in the last 3 years. So obviously good news here, but some things you have to look out for are whether roads are going to close, and we won't know that until we see what Hurricane Dorian is going to do. So the best thing you can do is watch the newscast, watch these weathercasts to see what it's going to do to make sure you and your family are safe, especially if you have that Labor Day vacation planned. Lauren?
Thank you so much, Liz. As the storm heads for the U.S., we will be keeping you safe by keeping you informed. You can stay with us on air and on our 9 News app for hour-by-hour updates. That app gives you real-time notifications, and our First Alert Storm Team gives you daily video updates as well.
Staying safe during these major weather events, it's absolutely crucial. Just last night, witnesses saying a lightning strike led to a massive fire. This is off of Jones Creek in Baton Rouge. This is the scene at the Summer Glen condos right around 8:30. St. George fire officials say flames were through the roof when they got there. Took them almost an hour and a half to get this under control. We were told the building housed 4 units, all of which were damaged by the fire. So now 4 families are waking up this morning out of their homes. The good news is no one was hurt. Not too far away from that, and actually soon after that, first responders here handling this situation. This is Segan Lane near Cloverland Avenue. It's happening about 9 o'clock last night. It appears there was a wreck involving an RV that then flipped over and caught fire. Now, we checked with emergency officials. They tell us there were no injuries reported from the crash, which is, incredible. Look at the video. Segan was shut down for a bit while they cleaned it up, though.
Our 9 News investigators are working to get answers in a disturbing and deadly investigation. How did a patient die while in the care of a mental health facility in Baton Rouge? Documents show this happened back in June when Joy Wagaspak was found unresponsive just 3 days after being placed at the hospital. A lethal dose of a depression medication was found in her system, but her mother says she has never received an explanation about what happened. Advocates tell us the system failed Joy and her family.
How, though, did that happen?
That's the million-dollar question on how this happened. The drug that they said that was in her system that was fatal, no one knows how it got there. That is my concern.
As you can see, our Scotty Hunter is working to figure out what happened to Joy. His investigative report airs tonight on 9 News at 10.
Pictures circulating from inside of a Denham Springs high school bus filled to the brim with, well, kids. It has many of you asking a question, is it safe? Well, we reached out to Livingston Assistant Superintendent Steve Perrill, who says despite how this looks, the students on the bus were never in any danger. He says the only reason the bus was so crowded, another bus driver called in sick, and the schools there just don't have enough bus drivers to make up for that loss. Therefore, they combined the buses.
That was a 66 passenger school bus, had about 45 or 50 high school students on it with their book sacks, purses, musical instruments. It was crowded.
Says the district has tried to hire more drivers, but no one wants the job. Now, the legislature allocated a bit more money for raises during its last session, but Perrill says that's just a drop in the bucket of what is really needed to fulfill their needs.
So we're looking forward to football Saturday night. Here's our European future forecast. This is our model, 6:30, August 31st, Saturday night. Looks good in Baton Rouge, looks good in Lake Charles. Go Southern, go LSU.
Traffic crossing the Sunshine Bridge is getting better this morning, but the approach to the bridge on Highway 70 still very backed up.
Suspicious deaths under investigation at a VA facility. Now the families are demanding answers.
Well, you heard it from Di. It's almost game time for LSU and Southern fans. A big weekend as the Tigers get ready for Georgia Southern's quarterback. 6:09.